where is it? Where is Vince saying? Like, literally doesn't stop. He has been a dedicated 11-month subscriber who literally just like has been in here and paying me money for 11 months at this point, specifically so he could just keep saying like shit that, and he's not even like a leftist chatter. No. He has like the dumbest takes. Like always. If he's a quarter black, probably implying some of his black ancestors were enslaved. He can't say the N-word because he looks white. See, that's why I said. That's why I fucking said it, dude. That's why I said it. I know for a fact people are gonna get mad at this. This is like discourse. This is like intra-community discourse. So like, even when black people are feeling some type of way about this, and have different points of view on this, like everyone's gonna get mad at me, a person who is very clearly white, having this kind of take.
About the laptop.
Yeah. To which Hunter replied, "Wow, thank you, Michael Cohen."
And then
other text here.
Other text I've read. I'm sorry for sexting you accidentally. That was meant for another friend named Georgia.
He also says, "My penis of late has been unconditional." Whatever that means.
And then
it's a big penis, George. I only love you because you're black.
Yeah, which is, look, well, I guess that's sort of reverse racism.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's love, right?
Yeah, it's love.
So we can give him the benefit.
It's love. It throws you off with the repeated use of the N-word, I guess. But hey, you know what they say with this, obviously. I want to be clear. It's not his fault. Like father, like son.
Out of a liberal instinct for love, brother, and humanity, although I think that's a good instinct, but for simple, pragmatic reasons. If we don't...
How about you don't tell POC what they should or shouldn't say? The moment that you say that this dude is a person of color is the moment that you admit I'm a person of color. You recognize that, right? So you, in turn, are literally criticizing a person of color for person of color business. How about that? Fucking reverse Uno, baby. Let's go. You just activated my trap card, bitch. There you go. That's it.
They will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
What? You're literally POC? Bro, yeah, a person of fucking Caucasianness, okay? Dude, I'm sorry, dude. My name is Hassan. I'm Muslim. I'm Middle Eastern. Like, I look like spicy white, sure. But, like, I can't fucking claim ownership of this. Okay, it's ridiculous. Like, oh man, I'm POC. Like, it sounds so stupid when I say it, dude. It just sounds so dumb. I don't know why people always fucking say this shit. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. Listen. Like, have I been discriminated against? Certainly. Absolutely. But only after people figure out what my background is, or rather, if they never see what I look like and only know my name from a fucking resume or some shit. So it's crazy. It's like I'm super fucking white passing, dude. It's crazy.
My son is Attorney General, a year in Iraq, came back, and that's one of the things that he finds was most in need. When he was over there in Iraq for a year, people would come to him and talk about what was happening to them at home in terms of foreclosures, in terms of bad loans that were these Shylocks who took advantage of these.
In its racist context. In its anti-Semitic context.
It's the only other time I've heard of besides Edward Norton.
Do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What? Bro. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream.
Yeah, this is so weird. Like, they're doing a Joe Biden is racist compilation when they're like They literally just said he's not racist in the beginning of the fucking video. But they themselves like make way worse jokes all the time.
African American, who is articulate and bright and clean and nice looking guy.
I'm just so mad. Is incorrect. Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil.
Right? He's not the first.
Yeah, come on.
By far. By far.
I love how he follows it up. I'm not joking. And I'm like, oh, you can't use that as a story now.
Yeah.
we were going to say you were joking.
We're going to say you were joking.
No, literally, I'm not joking.
It's like when Robert Byrd said the N-word 2 times, and he was saying, you got a lot of white N-words. I've seen white N-words in my day to insult them.
Yeah.
And then his correction was like, I'm sorry, I used language that, I understand is offensive to some and no longer appropriate. Well, it's offensive because you designed it as an offensive term.
Right, exactly.
Because you're denigrating black people and saying some white people are so lowly as black people. Like, where does that come from? I'm like, no, I'm not attributing motive there. You filibustered the civil.
Wait, did they bleep out bitch? But like then got a white dude to say the N-word? And they didn't bleep that part out? I'm losing my mind right now a little bit. What's happening?
Civil Rights Act for like 14 hours. And you're still sticking a landing with the N-word. The point is, like father, like son, Joe Biden, take him at his word. He's not joking. I still don't think that they should be canceled for racism as much as the, pedophilia.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you, we are being memed. They want you to be commenting on the fact that they're leaning into the 1/4 black stuff. Quarter black, get it right. I don't know if that's real or not. I feel like, I don't know if that's real or not. I mean, you can fucking cancel me all you want to be like, oh, dude, Hassan is like questioning the blackness of someone who's a quarter black. But like, bro, you don't look black. Like, you take all the benefits of being a white person. Like, you have the privilege. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I'm sorry. You literally have all the privilege. That's wild. And you're so privileged that you decided to like literally become a conservative too on top of that. Which, by the way, is like, it's like me saying I'm fucking brown. Like, anyway. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Muslim family in the terror attack that happened in London, Ontario with a vehicle attack. And there is a New York Daily Post. I don't know who whitewashed your view on yourself, but you are POC, my man. Okay, guys. I am not a regular white person, okay? I'm not white. I understand that. I get it. But for me to say that, like, I share similar struggles with brown people, I think is ridiculous because I have a profound amount of privilege because I look the way I do. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not white like Will is, but I'm pretty fucking white. It's crazy for me to, I think, say that I'm not so white passing that I have like white privilege in many different ways. That's just the truth. Do you get it? Do you understand? You are U.S. white, but not a European white? Oh, yeah. No, I mean, listen. In Europe, I'm not white. In Europe, I'm fucking Turkish. That's entirely different, though. That's different. That's like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about in America, okay? We're not having a conversation about me being in Europe. That's Europe has entirely different levels of racism. They kind of invented it. So it's just like they're very good at it still to this day in different ways. It's just not the same. Not saying that like America isn't the number one. America is still number one at racism, but the first time you started talking about being white, my EU ass got confused. Yeah. Anyway. Maybe in Northern Europe, but you definitely pale as fuck for us Southern Europeans. Yeah, dude, tell Italians how they feel about Turkish Muslims, dude. I wonder how Italians feel about Turkish Muslim immigrants. I mean, especially for Germany, it's they feel some type of way very outwardly, but if you look white, you'll be treated as white in our nation. Doesn't give you the right to double dip and say you experience oppression, systematic racism. Say the N-word. Yeah. Okay.
An absolutely heart-wrenching day in this community, and take a look here as we're standing at the site where the family was killed, and this crowd has really been growing by the minute here tonight. At one point, people were lining both sides of this street, some people climbing to lay flowers, others openly sobbing. Everyone here just trying to come to terms with the horror of what happened here on Sunday night, and a warning that some of the details in this report are difficult to hear. Kosar Maki and her family were driving past this intersection at around 8:40 Sunday night. They stopped at the red light and waved at a group of pedestrians, a family of 5 wearing traditional Muslim dress, who were waiting to cross the street.
My husband just rolled down his window and said salam alaikum to him, and he said salam alaikum, and he went. As soon as we turned the way, we got home. Minutes later, we heard the ambulances. Assalamu alaikum.
The Arabic greeting means peace be upon you. It was likely the last words they spoke.
Hold on.
Moments later, police say this pickup truck sped towards the family, jumped the curb.
Oh, here, I'll just show this much first.
And plowed into them. Police say they were targeted because of their Islamic faith.
It's scary because my husband and my children, we walk these sidewalks, and we have other families too that walk these sidewalks, and it could have been us. That's what I keep thinking. It could have been us.
Jen Karp arrived moments later to find bodies strewn dozens of meters down the street. None of them were moving except for the youngest, Fayez Afzal, just 9 years old. He was found lying on the ground.
Crying, where's my family? I want my family. My leg hurts, my hand hurts. We told him that there was people helping his family, and that he had to go to the hospital, and I told him to keep his head down, and we were trying to make sure he didn't see his family. It's terrible.
The boy remains in hospital and is expected to survive. A family friend says he still doesn't know that his grandmother, his parents, and his 15-year-old sister are gone.
So I want to show you guys how the New York Post chose to cover this story. Suspect in deadly attack on Muslim family had no known ties to hate groups. I mean, this goes back to the age-old Zach Fox joke. One of his best, unfortunately. I mean, this is like a joke, but it's fucking true. Which is, every time a white family or like a white dad is convicted of fucking quadruple homicide, they put a photo of him up like, riding a jet ski or some shit. That's the editorial choice. These other photos be looking at headlines when a white man kills his entire family. Always. Always. I mean, it is intentional. Like it's literally intentional. That's on purpose. To like remove the white supremacist undertones from this hate crime against Muslims is deliberate.
Assalamu alaikum. Today's a hard day. To think about what this means to Muslims and their families across this country. We've heard people mention this, but it is so common. All of us have gone for walks with our family in this pandemic because there's nowhere else to go. There's places that are shut down. So you go for a walk. And to think that a family going for a walk couldn't make it home. To think that
it happened in London, Ontario, which is in Canada, not like
that
London,
casual
UK.
Walk around the block in our neighborhood.
Wait, there's another
would be
one?
One's last. To think that you can't
He was always a
walk
nice guy.
Safely down your own street. And to think about what that means for a Muslim family right now. People are talking to their families and saying, you know what, maybe you shouldn't go for a walk. There are people literally thinking about whether they should walk out their front door in our country. When we think about what that means, some people have said, this is not our Canada. And I think about what that means when people say, this is not our Canada. This happened in London, Ontario. I lived in London, Ontario for 5 years. I loved my time there. I think about the fact that my parents chose to make Canada our home. I love my home. I love this place. But the reality is, this is our Canada. This is our Canada. Our Canada is a place where 215 little kids were found dead in unmarked graves. Our Canada is a place where you can't walk down the streets if you wear a hijab because you will be killed. This is our Canada. We can't deny it. We can't reject that because it does no one any help. The reality is our Canada is a place of racism, of violence, of genocide of Indigenous people, and our Canada is a place where Muslims aren't safe. They aren't. They aren't safe. Muslims are not safe in this country. And Muslims wonder, I've spoken to people, they wonder, how many more lives will it take? How many more families will be mauled down the street? How many more families will be killed before we do something? Innocent people were killed while praying in a place of prayer, in a masjid, in a mosque in Quebec, gunned down. A man was a Muslim man in Toronto, was knifed and killed. And both of those incidents, we know very clearly that it was directly because of hate. It was because of hate. There was so much hate towards someone that they did not know just because of who they were, because of how they prayed, because of what they looked like. That is a reality. People live with that every day. They walk the streets wondering if I will be attacked just because of the way I look, not because of an enemy that I have, or not because of someone that's got a...
I mean, Jugmeat is not even Muslim, but he himself personally knows because Sikhs are often victims to Islamophobic attacks by dumbass racists who think they're fucking Muslim. And then people always say Islamophobia is just being against Islam. It's not a race. You're not crazy. Yeah, totally, dude. It's definitely not racialized, which is why, like, after 9/11, the first hate crime, the first Islamophobic hate crime happened against a Sikh person. Sikh. I mean, it's Sikh. That's how you say it. So shut the fuck up. It's not Sikh, right? People always say Sikh. I say Sikh, and then people say I'm wrong. So shut the fuck up. I'm saying it right.
A problem with me. Will I be attacked today just because of the way I look? That is a real question people ask. Wow. What a life to live, that you've got to wonder about that. And we think about people that left violence, they fled persecution, refugees, they come to this country thinking, I'm going to be safe here. This is a place of safety. and they're not safe.
People unfortunately say you're wrong, whatever you say, my man. That's true. Bruh.
Seek.
Okay, that's the American pronunciation, I guess. Bro, there are sick people in my fucking chat saying that I'm correct. What do you want? Dude, white people are fucking crazy, dude. Like, actually crazy. Like, there's some dumb Americans in my chat that sometimes will literally tell me, like, I'm wrong about something that's going on in Turkey. Like, dudes will be like, you don't understand what it's like to live in a Muslim country. It's like, what? Bro, you live in Iowa. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I grew up in fucking Turkey. It's so funny when people are just like, it's like, dog, I'm American. I literally know more about Turkey than you do, a Turkish person. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to cover this any further than what I've already done, but this is like obvious that this horrific Islamophobic hate crime happened at a time when, I mean, Islamophobia is just the norm in Western society. So that's not like, it's not out of the ordinary at all. And people still operate in a way. What the fuck? Oh my God. Victim used to be in the research group I'm in, and our professors knew her. I'm sorry to hear that, man. No, it's actually a beautiful thing that this person drew. Alejo Andres drew me as a Red Dead character, and it's fucking so sick. Like, it blew my fucking mind. I'm sorry to, like, take away from the story that we were talking about, but it's incredible. Lady gets rammed by police officers being while she was trying to pull over safely. Okay, I'm gonna move away from this. Emily Radikowski gets mom shamed for how she held her baby. The sheriff office allegedly tracks kids. The aftermath of the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight by JRE. And then we got JCS.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, this is what's going on right now, where a bunch of fighters are upset because Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather.
We're getting into criminal psychology in a little bit.
Where they just fought, and Logan Paul made $20 million, and Floyd Mayweather made $100 million, and they're looking at this like, hey, what about me? Like, how come I'm not making that kind of money? And I think what they have to understand is, whether you like it or not, even if you are an elite, the elite of the elite, a Kamaru Usman, or pick any style bender, some of the best fighters in the UFC, even the elite of the elite, the money comes from people wanting to buy your pay-per-view. It's real simple.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, maybe in a perfect world, it's the most skillful fighter gets the most amount of money, but that's not how it works here. In the world of combat sports, professional prize fighting, it's all about how many eyes are going to watch you. And that fucking Logan Paul kid has a lot of eyes on him. He's had a YouTube channel since he was 14 years old. He's been on Disney shows. He's this controversial, larger-than-life, internet celebrity. And people are willing to pay a lot of money to see if he can box with literally one of the greatest fighters that's ever lived in Floyd Mayweather.
Hey, look, I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either.
Yeah, and you know what?
the best fighters in some of the best fighters to ever fight. Lennox Lewis.
A level-headed take from Joe Rogan. I wonder why. Perhaps it's because this is an area that he actually has expertise in, instead of literally 99.9% of other things that he talks about.
Andre Ward. These guys that I had the honor of representing, you never hear out of these elites that they're pissed. They're like, good for them. Because I think that they get on a fundamental level that as human beings,
here we go, the Joe Rogan bash.
Really?
It's a Joe Rogan bash for me to say like his anti-vaxxer takes are dumb as fuck, whereas his fighting takes are actually great because he is fucking literally. This is like, especially fighting and how fighters make money and shit like that is similar. Is his area of expertise.
Hardwired to watch the train wreck. We want to see carnage.
Well, we want to see a freak show
too. It is a freak show.
That was a freak show.
It's a circuit.
I was looking forward to it. I really was. I was so excited before the bell rang for the first round.
It's like going to the circus almost.
It's like a dude wrestled a bear.
I mean,
can he wrestle a bear?
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when Rocky fought Hulk Hogan in one of the Rocky movies.
Well, the difference though is that Floyd, first of all,
literally got sad that I didn't respond to his debate.
You got to give credit to Floyd Mayweather for doing that because it's so crazy to fight a guy 35 pounds heavier than you. That's so big.
It looked like he looked like he was fighting a giant.
Yeah,
it was like, and to watch him, look. People have a lot of opinions about Floyd Mayweather, what he does, how he spends his money. Listen, the guy's brilliant in a lot of ways. He's tapped into something that human beings want and want to see. But
this is boring. Oh my God. Now that we briefly mentioned that I will be watching fucking JCS, now my mind can't comprehend anything other than that. I want to get back to JCS now. It's my addiction, dude. I got murder on my mind, boys. I don't want to watch this. I want JCS, dude. What is this? Jennifer's Solution? What the fuck is this one? Okay, let's just go to the main line, dude. So we got Jody Arias. We got Jennifer's Solution. I don't even know which one that is. We already watched Legend of Jeff. Should we do Jennifer's Solution? Okay, we'll do Jennifer's Solution. All right, I'm tweeting it. I'm fucking tweeting it, dude. It's criminal psych time again. Murder on my mind. I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. Get the popcorn out. Get the popcorn out. Get the popcorn out. Yo! It's murder case time again. Time for some watered down live leak liquid crack cocaine in the form of content. www.twitch.tv/Hasanabi. Trigger warning. I didn't put it on Twitter, but I did put the trigger warning in the title of my on my Twitch stream. But like, you know what you're getting into, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I literally tweeted that we're doing murder mysteries, and I said it's watered down live leak. So I don't know what to tell you in that. Dude, stop sending me naked short selling videos from fucking Fox Business. Like, I do not care. Stop. Like, literally do not care. I can't begin to tell you I don't care. Go to the moon, dude. Go to the moon. Leave me alone.
Case of Jennifer Pan unique among others in the true crime genre is the overabundance of raw footage freely available in the public domain. There is over 11 hours of material that not only recounts her entire life in meticulous...
Should I wait? Should I wait for people to come in? I sometimes feel like I'm being... Like, I'm you know, I start too quickly immediately after I tweeted it out. Okay, here. Just blast it. No, you have VODs, man. Okay, let's just get started. Now, fuck it. I can't wait. Dude, I've waited for too long. I waited for 3 hours and 30 minutes, dude. Nobody reads your tweets. Just go.
Detail, but gives us considerable insight into her psychopathological state. Jennifer herself will narrate her own story in this video, which is the reason the following lead-up segment will be condensed, as a brief outline is all that is needed before delving into the extraordinary mind of this individual. Jennifer was born in Markham, Ontario, where she was raised with her older brother in a middle-class household. Her parents, Beek and Han, were originally from Vietnam, and their method of parenting was strict. Very strict, what some might even class as authoritarian. Success and achievement from their children were seen as outright obligations, whether it be in academics or extracurricular activity, and some might argue these expectations took precedence over the well-being of the children themselves. Jennifer initially took the imposed pressure in her stride and put everything she had into figure skating. She had exceptional talent, and at one point was expected to compete in the Winter Olympics, but she suffered a serious knee injury at the age of 14 and was told she could no longer compete. Her dreams were cut short, but of more concern was that her parents' expectations now had to be met through the more traditional route of education. And the issue was that Jennifer wasn't anywhere near as academically gifted as she was athletic. She was averaging a C- when her parents wanted straight A's. So rather than communicate with them, she decided to meet their expectations under false pretenses and began faking her test results. This led to her faking her end-of-year report cards, which eventually led to her faking a high school diploma, and then a university acceptance letter to study pharmacology. In the abstract world of her parents, Jennifer was on her way to a noble and well-paid career in medical health care, when in reality, she was a high school dropout living with her drug dealer boyfriend, whom she had been dating in secret for almost 8 years. She was eventually found out in 2010 when her parents discovered she had been living a double life, and was then given an ultimatum. At 24 years old, she had to choose between one of two options. Option one was that she had to live at home under a strict regime, cease all contact with her boyfriend, and only leave the house to go back to school and pursue an education. Option two was that she could do whatever she wanted, but she would then be disowned from her family. She could never return home, and all financial support would cease immediately. Jennifer evidently decided neither option would suffice, so she created option number 3. She had her boyfriend arrange a mock home invasion, where 3 of his acquaintances would enter the Pan household and stage a robbery gone wrong. The two instructions were to first ransack the home and then murder the parents. The planned date was Monday the 8th of November, with the scheduled time being roughly 11 p.m. Jennifer would unlock the front door, and 3 figures were caught on a neighbor's surveillance camera entering the home at 11:05. They were then seen running out just under 18 minutes later. It was at that exact time 911 received a call from the same household.
Avenue Road. Yes. Can you spell the name for me, please? Dad? Ma'am. Hello. Hello. Yes. Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road. Can you please spell it? In Helen Avenue. My dad just went outside screaming. Ma'am, can you spell the street address for me, please?
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, is this person like literally the worst dispatcher in all of North America? Like, what's happening? Like, what is happening right now? Can you please spell avenue, ma'am? She says. Oh, hey, what's going on? My parents are being murdered downstairs. Can you please tell me how to spell avenue? Wait, that's the calmer down? Wait, really? Oh, to keep her on the line.
Beek Pan was shot twice, once in the neck and once in the head. She was killed immediately. The father, Han, was also shot twice.
Never mind. That's the best dispatcher in NA. That's actually 5 head. I was dumb.
In the shoulder and once in the face. He astonishingly survived and was put into an induced coma once he arrived at the hospital. Jennifer was taken to the same hospital as a precaution, but was soon cleared of injury. She sat by her father's bedside for roughly 3 hours before she was taken to the Markham police station to give a statement as a witness.
I want to go through a form with you. It may seem kind of, why you're doing this, but this is it's like you're swearing to tell the truth about what you're going to talk to me about. And it's also going to explain to you the penalties for not telling the truth. I don't expect you to help me, but...
Bro, the thing I don't understand is, like, okay, I'm going to say something here that, like, people might find to be distasteful, but, like, dude, why are murderers so extra? Like, you end up taking so much more initiative to deal with the problem rather than just like directly tackle it. I don't understand it. It's like Chris Watts, like he fucking murdered his entire family and had to like hide bodies and shit rather than just be like, I'm out. I'm done. Fuck these kids. Fuck you, wife who's pregnant. Like, I'm done. I'm gonna fucking be a piece of shit. And I'm going to leave you. Like, just leave, forehead. Like, why are you, like, I'm too lazy is what I'm trying to say. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm too fucking lazy to, like, plan out all this intricate shit where it's, like, a direct way to resolve the conflict is just by being like, dude, I lied to you guys. Like, instead of telling her parents, which, I mean, I don't know what the situation is like with, like, parents like that. But instead of, like, at some point, telling your family that it's top of the hour and a 60-second ad break is coming right now, and the only way to avoid that 60-second ad break is by using a VPN or ad block or potentially a Twitch Prime. That was literally the worst one. That was the worst. None of you guys saw that. That was the worst one, dude. That was goated. Yeah, if you want to avoid the ads, you can subscribe with a Twitch Prime. Boys, you already know what the deal is. That shit's free, too. $3.99, baby. Okay, piece of shit. Oh my god. Okay. Here's the ad now. Sorry. So as I was saying, okay, all jokes aside, as I was trying to describe here, like, I feel like it's significantly less effort, less emotional and physical labor to directly confront a problem head on than to come up with like all of these intricate, detailed solutions that literally cause so much more mental anguish and so much more physical labor as well. Feel me? Like, just fucking resolve the conflict head on, forehead.
For a homicide investigation, anyone who's very close to the investigation, we do this with. Okay? So this isn't suspecting that you're not going to tell the truth. This is more of a feature that you understand the importance of telling the complete truth.
Jennifer is not a suspect at this moment. She is only giving a voluntary statement under oath. She has not read her right to silence, but instead informed of her rights as a witness. She is basically told that fabricating evidence with the intent to mislead is an offense. After reading the notification off paper, the detective gives Jennifer a more human explanation of the instruction.
What I've just explained to you is you're here voluntarily to help us, that you don't have to talk to us if you don't want to, but the importance of talking to us, and if you're talking to us, the importance of telling the truth. And if you don't tell the truth, there's criminal consequences for not telling the truth. That's all that stuff had to deal with. Okay?
The investigator then leaves to get the Commissioner of Oaths, which is for the purpose of swearing in the witness. But he first brings in a box of Kleenex.
I don't think so at all. Some of these people don't even have mental illness.
This is universally recognized as getting startled, yet the official term in neurophysiology is the startle reflex via auditory stimulus. Hyperarousal from a traumatic event can often exaggerate this response in a manner similar to how Jennifer reacted to the sound of the door.
Yo, I swear to God, I'm sorry for all the criminal psych majors in the chat, but like 95% of like criminal psychology shit that we hear just sounds made up. And I don't mean like everything made up in the sense that like everything is technically made up, but like literally it sounds like it's made up on the spot. I don't know what it is. Like, okay, she got spooked, bro. That's what that is.
Hello, my name is Andrew Spiro. I'm a Commissioner of Oaths with York Regional Police. I'm here so you can give a truthful statement either by solemn affirmation or swearing on the Bible. Which do you prefer? Swearing on the Bible. Okay, just put your hand on the Bible.
Just saw your tweet and you're already like 15 minutes in. Maybe wait a little. Otherwise, what's the point? I don't know. I mean, you will have nowhere to go with that kind of fucking attitude. Take a week off, dumbass. We're 6 minutes in. That's the fucking point. You're in here now. So shut the fuck up, bitch. Nice bait, by the way. Take a week off, stupid. I literally waited too.
Do you, Jennifer Pan, swear that the evidence you shall give on this investigation shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Once Jennifer is sworn in, the lead investigator returns to collect the statement.
Now I want you to sort of take yourself back to earlier on today, yesterday, meaning the 8th of November, and tell me about your day. Okay, start at any point in time. Wherever you feel comfortable, and then we're gonna move forward. Okay.
Yesterday, probably around 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30. My mother, she woke me up and she told me that she was going to visit my grandfather.
Throughout the day, Jennifer explains that she practiced piano, studied piano history, talked on the phone with her friends, and had dinner with her parents. Her mother left for line dancing at 8 p.m. and returned home at about 9:30, at which time Jennifer was alone in her room watching TV, ready to go to sleep.
And then suddenly I just heard my mom calling for my dad to come down. And that's when I lowered the volume on my TV, and I could hear the voices weren't any voices I was very familiar with. And so I was scared and I couldn't move. I just sat in my room for a while. And then I thought I heard them all leave the top floor, and I peered out of my bedroom door. And a guy was there, and he came at me and had string in his hands and tied my arms back and said, "I have a gun behind your back. Do what I say. If you do what I say, then no one will get hurt. Where is the money? Show me where your money is." My mom kept trying to get up, and they kept telling her, "Sit down." And so I didn't want her to get hurt, so I told her, "Mom, sit down." They were trying to find her wallet, but her English isn't good, so she kept saying purse. They kept pushing her down onto the chair.
Okay.
Take your time.
It feels like, dude, she's fucking so good, dude. This is terrifying. This is like actually fucking terrifying. She is so good at this, dude. Like, obviously she rehearsed this. Like, she actually bad? What do you mean actually bad? Bro, she's literally like, it's clear that she rehearsed this and is actually good at this.
Take your time. All this is very important, so take your time.
Jennifer's nonverbal communication up to this point has made sense, and the reflection of her mother's last moments seems to push her over the edge. It could be assumed the detective still considers Jennifer a victim at this moment, but in the next moment, he will start becoming suspicious.
They kept all the lights off on the main floor. The only time there was light was when they opened the fridge door to see if they could find where my mom's purse was.
Take yourself back to a moment in your life when you have been...
Why the fuck would you know that, dude? That's so specific. Oh, no.
Overwhelmingly upset about something. And at the same time, we're trying to explain to someone why you were upset. You wouldn't quietly and reservedly convey the events. You would likely blurt them out in a forceful and disordered manner. Your sole focus would be on processing your thoughts and conveying them into speech. The emotional turbulence of severe hysteria and grief makes it very difficult to convey thought into actual dialogue, and the simple wording of a sentence becomes very challenging. Jennifer seems to be more concentrated on how she's being perceived, yet finds her words easily and executes her sentences perfectly.
One of the gentlemen asked my father if he had money in his wallet and where his wallet was. So they took me, because I was next to the stairwell, they took me up the stairs to show them where my father's wallet was. But I didn't know. They had turned the room upside down. I didn't know where his pants were at that time.
The intruders retrieve $1,100 from the master bedroom and then tie Jennifer to the upstairs banister.
Next thing I know, I think I heard my parents going down the stairs, and my mom was asking them for me to come with them. They wouldn't let me come with them. And after they said, the last things I heard them say was, "You lied to us. You lied to us." And then I heard 2 pops. My mom screamed. I yelled out for her. And a couple more pops.
Take your time. Take your time.
And I think I heard my mom say or moan or something, and then they did one more before they left, and then one of the guys said, "We have to go now, it's been too long." And then they
Why
ran
is your
up the
chat
door.
sagging this bitch? Because
And
chat will say anything, dude.
Once they were out the door, I heard my dad go up the stairs, and at that point...
Jennifer has clearly gotten her story straight beforehand, yet in the next moment appears to realize how unusual it is that she was able to make a phone call when her hands were tied behind her back to a banister. She hesitates, stutters, and even looks to the detective for approval twice before she quickly moves on.
I had my phone on me, behind me, that I had hidden there that they didn't know about. So I had my phone on me, behind me, that I had hidden there that they didn't.
Bro, see, no matter how fucking smart you are, and this is one of the smartest murderers we've seen so far, you still have holes, dude. These guys can't ever fucking put together like a full-blown... What do you mean? No, she's smart as fuck, dude. She's clearly very, very smart. Would you murder better than her? Fuck no, I'm an idiot, dude.
I didn't know about. So when I thought that they had heard them all leave.
Dumbass is in the chat. She was a C- student. She faked her grades. Yeah, dude, I know. Grades are the best indication that someone is smart or fucking stupid. Like, whose chat are we in right now? Like, what the fuck? I feel like a POS is killing bugs. What?
And my dad ran up the stairs. I whipped up the phone and I called 911.
Bro, she was able to dupe 2 adult human beings that gave birth to her for years. Lead them to believe that she literally got fucking all A's in high school and then got accepted into college. If you don't think that as a teenager being able to be crafty enough to be able to put that together is not a demonstration of intellect, like some kind of intelligence, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're crazy. Like, you're wild. Like, that's like charisma. She just beefed up all of her fucking persuasion skills.
But I still hadn't heard anything from my mom, and all I could hear was my dad running on the street.
She's 24, but your point stands? No, motherfucker, she wasn't 24 when she was lying about her fucking high school grades, though. It's not hard to fake things. Yeah, okay, dude. Well, you can't even fake not being a fucking idiot in my chat.
Moaning and making sounds.
The detective then breaks the event down into components and has Jennifer go through each moment in more detail. The first of which is the appearance of the intruders. Jennifer now describes the one who appeared to be in charge.
The only thing I can remember was he had dreadlocks.
He had dreadlocks. So can you describe his race to me?
He was black.
Was his head covered? Was his face covered? Do you remember anything about that?
Just that his dreadlocks were kind of like flopping all over the place. I couldn't really see his face, and they kept the lights dark as much as possible.
Did he have a gun?
Yes.
Did you see the gun?
I only saw the top part of the gun.
What did it look like?
Kind of, it was black.
Yeah. Do you know where the other guys involved in this are?
I know one stayed with my parents.
Wait, chat's getting mad that she said the dudes were black? I mean, they were black. She got her boyfriend to hire black dudes to do this. And so was the gun.
Downstairs.
Okay.
The other one, I'm not, at that point in time, I was more focused on him, like he was seeing me and he was coming after me.
So you're saying there's 3 for sure?
Yes.
That's all, you saw a total of 3 at one time, you saw 3 people together?
Yes, when I went downstairs, I saw 3 shadows.
She details the appearances of the other 2 assailants, whom she asserts were also black males. The detective then brings her back to the one in charge.
Now the first guy who spoke to you, did he have any accent?
None that I could make out.
Was it clear English?
English.
Unbroken?
Unbroken.
No accent?
From the terms he used, I didn't get to pick up an accent, no. He used short phrases.
He sounded Canadian?
I would say, yes, he was born here.
He was born here.
She asserts that the second intruder didn't speak, while the third had a Caribbean accent. She then goes on to say she was taken downstairs for a brief moment and saw her parents under guard in the living room. Her father was asked where his wallet was, and he told them it was in the master bedroom. Jennifer was then taken back upstairs alone with 2 of the assailants to help them find it. They don't find the wallet, but instead retrieve a pile of cash from inside the nightstand. Jennifer was then tied to the upstairs banister and left alone as the intruders went back down.
And the next thing I can hear are them telling my parents to move to the basement.
Okay.
And I'm asking them, why, where are you going? And my mom's yelling to me, I want my daughter. Why can't my daughter come too? I want my daughter.
Jennifer then hears one of the intruders yell, "You lied to us."
Who do you hear yelling, "You lied to us," or to that extent?
Number 3.
Number 3.
I'm assuming it's to my father, because he was the one asking for the wallet.
Now you hear this commotion downstairs. You said you heard 2 pops. And you heard who scream?
My mom.
Your mom. And what was she screaming? Do you remember?
I couldn't make it out. It was kind of like a cry yell, so it was just...
Okay.
They had made the first round, or pop, and they had said, okay, that's enough. Let's go.
Who said that? Whose voice is that?
Number 1.
Okay.
And then I heard one more after that. And they're like, that's enough. Let's go.
Okay.
Yo, why does she go from fucking crying and being in tears to like accurately retelling every fucking moment that occurred with it in great detail with no emotion whatsoever? I mean, I know why, because she fucking did it, but like that would be suspicious. That'd be a sussy baka move.
And again, that's number 1.
Yes.
So what do you hear next? After you hear the scrambling, they're gone. Because you're hearing no more. I gather that's how you assume they're gone, is because you don't hear it. Then you hear your dad.
I reach for my phone at that point.
And you call 911. Okay? When your father exits, you hear the door open. Because you hear your dog, and then
I can hear like the outside noises.
Okay.
Like the wind coming in, and I just hear my dad, I think he's...
You think that he's sustained some kind of injury because he's not, you can't understand what he's saying. Okay. What about, can you hear your mom? Okay. Where does your dad go? Do you know where, you never see your dad again until when we're at the hospital. I think that's what you said, right?
I saw him when he was on the gurney.
Is there any
I'm not going to even click on that link. I'm just going to ban you for a day.
Reason to suspect or anything that's happened in the recent weeks leading up that would have you guys be a target of some type of incident like this?
We live a straightforward, kind of almost routine life.
Whenever Jennifer smiles, it takes her a couple seconds to realize she's not exhibiting the correct behavior, and she then snaps back into her solemn stare. The two looks are so diametrically opposed to each other that it becomes glaringly obvious she's forcing one of the emotions.
What, in your opinion, would cause people to target your house to think that there was a large quantity of money?
I'm not sure.
Now, you say your mom drives
Oh. This is a part of the plan where doesn't really make sense. Home invasions of this magnitude with like 3 fucking assailants, that's not exactly commonplace. That shit's not happening all the goddamn time. That does happen if you have a stash house, for example, and people know that you have a stash house, so you have a lot of cash in your house. That's usually that's usually why this kind of 3-person like home invasions would ever occur. Okay? Because are you a cop now? No, motherfucker. I have a brain. Why the fuck? Why? I joke about this all the time whenever people say like, oh my God, I need an AR-15 to save my family, to defend my family from what? A death squad? What do you have in your family that would warrant, what do you have in your house that would warrant like multiple assailants coming in and trying to fucking steal from you? Okay? Hindsight Andy, no, this is something I talk about all the fucking time. This is something that I have talked about numerous times when I discuss like the necessity for an AR-15, which is a better gun to take down multiple assailants. But again, C-grade Rutgers student has criminal studies degree now. Wait, what? First of all, criminal studies, I fucking graduated with honors with a poli-sci degree, so I don't know what you're talking about. Criminal studies is like literally regarded as like a lesser degree than poli-sci. And also I graduated with a 3.75, so suck my cock. And even then it doesn't even matter. Not necessarily per se, but more guaranteed to drop someone than a handgun. No, okay, stop focusing on the AR-15 line there. The point is, I've talked about this before, like, home invasions do occur, okay? But oftentimes it's not going to be fucking, oftentimes it's not going to be unless, like, because that's a gigantic risk. Walking into someone's house with guns is a huge risk. They might have a fucking gun. No matter where you live, they might have a gun. They might be able to fucking defend themselves. So, in most circumstances, it's got to be fucking worth it. And it's not worth it to just, like, hit up a fucking random dude's house. You know what I'm saying?
Alexis.
It could be because of the aesthetics, yes.
What about your dad?
He drives a Mercedes and he loves that baby.
Is that right?
The questions end here, and the detective leaves the room for half an hour to double-check if he needs any more information. After 15 minutes of Jennifer waiting alone, we're gifted with another performance of the startle reflex. Only this time, it's slightly less convincing.
I've been here longer than my last relationship. 3 months?
If investigators were certain of Jennifer's innocence, this would have been the first and last time she would have been questioned in such a manner. Police are extremely careful in how they involve victims in investigations as to not cause further unnecessary trauma. But on this particular occasion, it would come as no surprise that Jennifer's psychological well-being was of less concern. She was officially still a victim and witness, but unofficially a leading suspect. She was called back in to give